Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel Save the Moment. So today I am going to be sharing with you some essential items that, take it how you want it. These were essential for me, and if I had had these to begin with, or at least planning to get them, it would have made my life so much easier, especially as an H2B worker. And if you're working in hospitality as well, this can apply to you. I'm sure that there are many useful things that you can take away from this video. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if there are other things that you can add to this list, please put them down in the comment section below. So starting off with one of the most important things that every waiter, server, bartender, someone in hospitality needs is a good wine key. So this is the one that I've got, okay? It is absolutely amazing. It's super sturdy. I bought this off of Amazon and this costed around $12, maybe $14. And just so you guys know, all of the things that I'm speaking about, I will link to Amazon for you. And hopefully these things help you as much as they help me. But this little guy is one of the best wine keys I've ever used. I know it looks a little weird because of this whole thing, but it like pushes forward. It's great. I have broken less corks using this little guy than the other ones. What I do want to tell you though is when you get to your country club, they will provide you with like the basics of stuff. So you'll get like a wine key, you'll get a couple of pens, you'll get like a something like this that takes down orders, and you'll have like the basics. You'll get a waiter apron, obviously you'll get your uniform, but if you want to upgrade your stuff and you want to make sure that you're providing the best service and your tools are of quality, these are the things I suggest that you get, okay? So soup's important. The next most essential item is one of these bad boys, okay? These are non-slip, and it even says here slip work Skechers, right? These are absolutely amazing, and of course you can get these on Amazon. And my suggestion is, of course, if you can, because it is expensive, if you can buy a pair of Skechers before you leave South Africa, do it. I mean, you're probably looking at like 1,200 Rand for a pair of Skechers, which is really expensive. But what I ended up doing, because I didn't have the money, I bought a more or less comfortable sneaker that was black. In most cases, you're going to be asked to get black sneakers. As long as the branding isn't too crazy, you should be fine. But I ended up getting a really awesome pair of sneakers that lasted me for a couple of months, literally 2 months, because eventually my feet were killing me. And I saved up so that I could buy a pair of Skechers. Now, the crazy thing is like these were like $60. And if you compare it to what you're paying back home, it is much better to get them this side. And what's great is that you can always look for sale options. If you have Amazon, order on Amazon, but try them on first, of course. I like Skechers without laces, just simply because the hassle of having to tie your shoelaces all the time, for me anyway, drives me nuts, and I don't enjoy a tongue that moves around. So this was like the most comfortable, the best option. So investment. This is an investment. And by the way, these are not going to last you 3 years. I literally buy a new shoe every season, and that's just because on the inside, the soles are perfect, but on the inside, the friction ends up wearing out the back of the shoe. And that's just because we work so many hours and we do so many steps in a day. So yeah, all I can say about this is get yourself some Skechers. Obviously there are other brands that are really amazing, and of course if you find an alternative brand that's super comfortable and works for you, great. But for those of you that don't know what kind of work shoe will be good for standing on your feet all day for 10-12 hours, these are really, really good. Just a side tip, something I bought online. It's called Lumi Outdoors. It's literally a lemon and eucalyptus essential oil odor eliminator. I spray this in my shoe every night. It smells really nice, and it's not powder. A lot of the shoe odor options is powder, and I don't enjoy that at all because it literally cakes my feet, especially when you start sweating. So this is really great. Spray it on your shoe once you are out of your work shoes for the day, and it will sit and dry overnight. And if you do have any odor, I mean, the reality is that you're sweating and walking around in those shoes all day every day, so they may have a smell, but that is a great little side tip for you over there. So another little thing that I think is quite important, especially when you're a waiter or you're in front of house or you're dealing with anybody, not just membership or customers, is these breath mints. I cannot tell you how many times I have felt super self-conscious, especially if you're a coffee drinker, especially if you're a smoker. You know, it's good to always be presentable, have fresh smelling breath, because you're speaking to people all the time, you know. And yeah, this kind of thing is not gonna cost you a hell of a lot of money. I think I paid $3 for these. It lasts me maybe 2 weeks. You know, I try not to eat them too much like sweets, but you know, the thing is like, you'll get to work, let's say 10 o'clock, you'll have your first employee meal of the day. Sometimes you don't, sometimes it all depends on the schedule, but you'll have a meal, and then like 6 or 7 hours later, you're having another meal. So like, I don't know about you guys, but if you've gone a few hours without eating, it happens. Your breath starts to smell a bit, and no matter how much water or coffee you drink, it doesn't really mask that because you're hungry. So invest in something that you like. These are my favorites. Altoids is another brand that's really great. So yeah, one more thing to add to the essentials list. So next on the list, if I can find it, because I've got like a million things to show you today, are inner soles. So these are also lifesavers, and the brand that I like to use is Dr. Scholls. It's spelled Scholls, so it's like Scholls but souls, but play on words kind of thing. These are super awesome, because as much as your shoe has its own insole, sometimes it's not enough support. I have a slightly higher arch, so having this kind of support, trust me, when I first started wearing these actually hurt my feet a little, but it's only because my foot's not really used to having that kind of support. But once my foot got super used to it, it made a difference to my lower back. It's weird how it all sort of works pretty well. And what's really cool is that you can go to like a Walmart in the States, and they have like these Dr. Scholls machines where it like, I want to say it maps the imprint of your foot, and it will recommend the best insole for your foot shape. So these bad boys go from $20 to $50. Obviously, if you're getting like super hectic ones and you really need it, it's an investment as well. Like I keep saying, you're on your feet a lot, and the one thing you do want to look after is your feet, and your joints and your lower back, and also, no matter how prepared you think you're going to be, you're still going to ache, but at least it will be less of an ache. Because yeah, the first 3 months that we were back in the States, I died. My feet were so sore, it was unbelievable. And one of the reasons is because I didn't have the proper foot support, because I bought cheapy sneakers until I could afford to buy proper work shoes. But it also takes time. You know, if you've never been in the food and beverage industry or the hospitality industry, being on your feet all day, every day, like your body feels it. But fortunately, I'm now at the point where a long day, of course, you're going to feel tired and your feet are going to be sore, but it's nowhere near the same kind of pain I've experienced, which is great. So, insoles, okay? So, next up on the list is black pants. Okay. So, the reason why I say this is an essential is because firstly, you want to feel comfortable, and a lot of the times a country club will say to you, okay, bring your own black pants, bring your own black shoes, and we'll provide you with shirts. If obviously it gets a little bit cooler, even though it's Florida, there are weeks that are a little bit colder, they'll provide you jackets, they'll provide you the little tools. But if they do provide you pants, they are never flattering. And for anyone watching this, and you guys have been in H2B, you know that the pants, they bulk buy them, and you know what, super grateful that we get those things. But if you want to feel good at work and you want to look good, invest in your own clothing, where you can, of course. So I got these little guys from H&M. I am the bargain queen. Okay, I got these for $10. These were $24. But they've got a nice size waist thing, whatever you call this, for a nice belt, and it's a little higher fitting, so it's a bit more complimentary for me. And a lot of the times most country clubs don't really I don't want to say they don't really care, because of course they do. They want you to look presentable, but they're not going to be finicky about the type of style, as long as it's a formal pair of black pants and they're black and they look good and you look good. It's fine, you know. What I want to say about these is it's not easy to find a really nice pair of black pants in the States. I don't know if maybe I'm looking in the wrong places, but if you are looking for black pants and you're going to stores like Dillard's or what's the other one? There's stores that are amazing for that kind of stuff, but they are a lot more pricey. So if you're able to come from South Africa with a really nice pair of black pants, you know, Woolies can hook you up when it comes to those kind of things. But you know, I understand it's an expense. You know, all of these things count when you're coming overseas and you're like, oh my goodness, like there's so many things that are costing me a fortune. But if you don't have the money, the best alternative I can say is Mr. Price has upped their game in terms of their clothing and that kind of stuff. And even if you're getting a pair of pants that's going to last you a month, it gives you enough time to earn a little bit of money and then go hunt for a nice pair of pants. When you're in the hospitality industry, you want something that's slightly stretchy, a little breathable. You don't want it too thick because you're going to be hot, you're going to be running around, the friction of the pants, and also make sure that they fit nicely. If they're too long for you, get them tailored. Those kind of things all make a difference to how you look and feel while you're at work. And yes, it may seem like a very shallow thing to say, but actually, if you're in clothes that are frumpy and you don't feel good in them, it reflects. You are not as confident when you're coming into a room about how you present yourself and how you communicate and that kind of thing. So it's all psychological. It all makes a difference. And one of the top essentials for me. Okay. One of the other essentials that I would suggest is you are bringing medicine from home. And when I say that, I mean stuff like, I've got like a whole collection here that I've still held on to. Med lemon. You don't have med lemon. Oh, they've got like hot toddy things here, but it's not the same as med lemon. Med lemon is amazing, and trust me, when you get sick, the last thing you want to do is be going to a CVS pharmacy and hunting for all the different kind of medicines that you don't know is going to be effective. It's super, super difficult. And even when you read the box, you're like, yeah, surely this is going to be good. It doesn't always provide the necessary. So like grandpas, okay? If you're not a grandpa's person, fine. Take the kind of headache tablets that absolutely help you, because the options that are here, yes, they help, but they're not, I don't know what it is. They're not as effective as I had hoped they would be. But anyway, if you're a grandpa's person, these are gold for South Africans. ACC, silly things, guys. Rennies for heartburn. Another thing that I don't have any more of is throat spray. So back home, I don't know if any of you have used a brand called Andiolax. It's that little pink bottle. Well, it's a clear bottle with pink liquid in, and it's got like a nozzle so that you can spray the back of your throat. Trust me when I say that is the most effective thing you'll probably ever have, because what you buy over the counter here is okay, but it doesn't help the same way. And I don't know, like I said, maybe I'm not looking in the right places, maybe I'm not asking for the right things when I get to the pharmacy, but the things that I've used, and a few videos ago, I was really sick. And I struggled, and thank goodness my friend was just arriving in the US and he was like, yeah, I brought you everything I could find. But yeah, throat lozenges, you know, those things are absolutely essential, especially if you're having a very bad sore throat. Bring them from home, okay? That's all I'm saying. Baraka, energy stuff, multivitamin stuff, bring it if you can afford to, and even if you're just bringing one of everything, bring it, because it helps. And I have noticed that every time I've come overseas and I've moved over and I've started a new job, I always end up getting sick. I don't know if it's because of the stress or new environment or yeah. So be prepared is all I'm saying. The next essential item on the list is a work backpack. Okay, I'm still trying to look for my perfect work backpack. I know it's been like a year and a bit now, but I found this bag which is super cute and it cost me like $2, and I can't believe it was $2 because it's canvas. But I can pretty much store like a whole bunch of stuff in here. I keep my work jacket just in case it gets cold, and I keep little bits and pieces. But something especially for girls, I usually have like a separate little lady pouch for all the things that I need. Right now, currently, I work at the cabana, which is outside. It's by the pool, and I'm sweating all day. So 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna ever worry about wearing makeup or putting makeup on, just because I'm gonna sweat it off anyway, and to me that's a bit of a waste. So whatever the standard is for dining, I obviously want to look good, I want to smell good, I want to feel good, especially if you're working a double, okay? So you want to feel refreshed for a 12-hour shift. If you're working lunch and you're busy all lunch and now you need to get into dinner service, you want to be able to change and just freshen up your face and, you know, tidy your hair if you need to. And yeah, so this ends up becoming my little makeup bag. So everything goes in there, and yeah, those are one of the best things I've ever made sure I have in every bag for work. So this little thing goes in there. What is next on the list? Okay, so a watch. And now you guys think this may be like a bit of a trivial thing, but the truth of the matter is that if you do not have the watch to tell the time, and here's the thing, having a phone is different. Okay, because 9 times out of 10 you are not allowed to be whipping out your phone in front of membership or on the floor or anything like that. So you have to have a watch. Okay, I am blessed to have been bought a birthday gift as an Apple Watch. It's something I've wanted for absolutely years, and we finally worked our way up to afford it for me, which I'm super grateful for. That was a gift from George. But if you don't have a smartwatch, just a regular watch, guys. And the reason why I say it's super important to have a watch is because if you are watching the timing of the tables that are coming in, the food timing. So do you know what saved me so many times is I'll take note of when I've put a food order in for someone, and if something's taking a little too long, I can tell, oh, okay, that's taking like 20 minutes for a salad. Something must be wrong in the kitchen. I can go check. Because if you're a little bit lost on managing your time, everything can go, like in the industry, we call it weeds. You will be in the weeds, and then your table's going to be upset. You're not giving the right attention. You're not making sure food's coming out on time. And yes, in many cases, you'll have an expo, you'll have a food runner, but sometimes things happen in the kitchen, and you know, you may have pressed send for your food item, but it doesn't print in the kitchen. They don't know you've sent it. You haven't checked. So, you know, it's always good to have something where you can manage time and you can keep track. Okay. So very simple thing, come with a watch. Buy a little cheapy watch, something that can just keep you going. And what is another essential item? So shavers for guys. Things seem to be changing when it comes to guys having to be clean shaven for work and that kind of thing. So that is something I've noticed isn't as super strict as it used to be in the past. However, that doesn't mean that there aren't country clubs that are like clean shaven every day for guys. So my advice, and every guy is different, just like every girl is different when it comes to choosing a razor, but if you are somebody that grows a beard very quickly, like literally by 6 o'clock you've already got some stubble, make sure that you've got the right shaver, that it's good for your skin, it's not a cheapie. If you're coming from South Africa, buy something that's going to keep you going for the first month or two, and then at least you can invest in something that is more substantial. So something that Geo uses is called Manscaped. Now Manscaped is more of a the personal places kind of razor. It's like one of those shavers, okay? But the great thing is that it's also for body as well, and it's for face and all that stuff. So there's like a whole little grooming kit that you get from that little product item, but of course that's just a suggestion. He loves it, he uses it all the time, and he says it's one of the best shaver kits that he's ever bought. So, you know, if you guys are looking into something that you want to invest into, that's going to be good for you in the long run, something like that is great. It doesn't have to be that specific item, but and it is a little bit more on the pricier side. So you're looking at anywhere between $150 to $200 for like a really good grooming kit. And if you want to look good at work and not tear up your skin with terrible shavers, you know, make that investment eventually. So yeah, that concludes my top essential items for H2B workers. I hope that this has given you a little bit of insight into the things you need day to day. And I have another video for you guys to watch, and these are the nice to haves. So you know what, it could also fall under your essentials list if you wanted to, but having these kind of nice to have things can also be so helpful in the day-to-day. So be sure to check out that video next, and don't forget to like and subscribe.